Hi, I'm Katie Hendricks, and I'm here with another practice for you to enjoy conscious loving ever after. This practice, the Love Catalyst, is written about in great detail in the book, and what I wanted the video to be able to show you is really the heart of how you can give yourself loving attention, give your partner loving attention, being able to be present in the flow of communication. And I want to lead you through the most basic parts of this that I think are the most valuable. And then you can keep building on it as you build your own practice. So I'm going to be perching over here, and because I want you to mostly focus on Art and Karina, whom you've probably gotten acquainted with by now. How long have you all been together?
We had 10-year anniversary this summer.
All right, congratulations. So 10 years of, and they also have been practicing our work for a long time. So if you're likely to compare yourself to them, give yourself a few years of practicing these before you give yourself a grade about how good you're doing. I find that any attention that you give to the Love Catalyst is going to make a huge positive difference in your relationship. If you're doing this as a single person, I'd like you to imagine that there is your ideal partner over there, or the person you're wanting to draw in, or you could do it with a friend, because it much as you amplify your ability to give yourself loving attention and to give that to another, it sets the stage for you to attract somebody who's really going to be able to meet you. So that's what we're up to. So what I'd like you both to do, also they're sitting on stools that move. So if you're thinking, why are they weaving around? It's because they're sitting on some flexible stools, which I think are really great.
They're actually amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. And you can get them from the Museum of Modern Art, so just to let you know. All right. So I'd like you both to turn and face each other, and I'd like you to have just a soft eye contact. So you're not staring at each other, you're just having some soft eye contact. And I'd like you to actually put your hand on some part of your body that you would like to give attention to. So each of you choose, and I'd like you to let yourself give your curious attention to that part of you. Yeah, and I hear you are giving a kind of a which is something that I often like to do out loud. Go, to create that pleasant in my out breath, because that shifts me from my critical brain into my wonder brain. Yeah.
And we were doing these fear melters before, and I noticed it instantly shifts me into more of the ooze quality.
The oozy, melty, oozy quality. Melty. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So now I'd like you to let your hands just rest on your, somewhere comfortable, or down at your sides or in your lap. And I'd like you to create that again, and let your float over to your partner. That kind of how are you? And then I'd like you to literally bring your attention. It's as if you were just bringing your awareness back to you. So the essence of the practice is to let your loving attention move to the other, and letting your loving attention move to you. And we're going to place that on different parts of your body and different kinds of interactions. But I'd like you to just take a moment and let me know, how is that for you to give yourself loving attention and then to give each other loving attention?
I noticed when I went to this spot, Katie, and did this, I felt my attention so receptive, taking in what's happening. And so then when I looked at Art, I felt my eyes much more receptive, taking him in.
Yes. Yeah, so you created receptivity in you, and then you were able to extend that to Art. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, mine was, when I came back over to myself, was a feeling that I actually became more spacious.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. You know, because
Like,
one of the
literally,
things,
yeah.
that's so beautiful, one of the things we talk about in Conscious Loving Ever After is that your choice over and over again at midlife and beyond is that you're either expanding and discovering, or you're contracting and shrinking and getting more crystallized. Tucking, and then your patterns with each other get more crystallized and more routine. So one of the benefits of the love catalyst is just what you were describing, Art, is that you feel more spacious.
Yeah.
And you're able to create not only space in you, space for your partner, but space between. And that's part of what we're going to be exploring.
Yeah, I can literally feel sadness of the contraction that is kind of a familiar habit
Sure.
of mine.
Yeah, we all have familiar habits, and I really appreciate you being able to notice how your body keeps that going.
Yeah, it's...
And that when you do the love catalyst, it is replacing that with a spaciousness. So that's what we're up to. This is not about solving a problem, about creating a recipe. It's really about catalyzing creative space within you and between you. So you've already got it, so we can just go, okay, let's continue so that we can try on some different variations. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is to, when you're giving that loving, curious attention to yourself, I'd like you to first focus on your physicalness. Just noticing your body sensations, or the flow of your blood, or any emotions that the actual experience of how you're sitting on the stools, noticing your feet, just letting yourself enjoy the experience of your body, being with your body. Yes. And I'd like you to then get curious about what your partner might be experiencing. So, what's Karina experiencing in her body? What's Art experiencing? So the whole idea here is you are shifting your awareness, and then you're bringing it back to you. So just as you would easily open and close your eyes, I'd like you to let yourself easily shift to you, and then shift back to each other, and shift back to you. And I'd like you to do your best to do that with your eyes open. So it's great when you're first learning to do that with your eyes closed, so you really get the feeling, but at some point you want to be able to drive a car while doing this. You want to be able to have a conversation while you're giving and receiving more and more love. Yeah, so being curious about your sensations in your body, then being curious about your partner's sensations, and then back to you. Yes, and I'd like you to continue doing that. I'm going to make a little side comment here, is that what we've noticed is in that any kind of impasse or stuck place in the relationship, your attention is also stuck. So you either have it stuck out, so I was always much more aware of Gay than I was of me, or you have it stuck in, and that's always to protect yourself. So when you open to letting your attention flow between you and your partner, that creates a space of discovery that you can both move into. And I can see, like Karina, your eyes are getting sparkly, and both of your faces are coloring, getting pinker. So that's what lets me know that you are circulating your energy. And that's really what we're up to. So now, as you're continuing to do this, I'd like you to let yourself notice the flow of energy in you. So some things may be zinging around, or they may be more like lava, or they feel lumpy. Just how is your energy feeling? And then getting curious, shifting your awareness, and then getting curious, how's my partner's energy? Not like, how's my partner's energy? But, Yes, but really yeah, so enjoying my energy, enjoying your partner's energy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
It's
much more energy comes.
Much more energy. Yeah. So what we talk about in the book, and I'd like to have you experiment with, is having it be like a infinity sign that circles around you and then around your partner and then around your partner and around you.
Yes.
Yeah, so the infinity sign meets between you. Yeah. And you may have completely different rhythms for each other. Like you might be doing a racetrack, zoom, 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 zoom. You know, and you might be sauntering around. And all of that's just fine to let yourself have your own rhythm.
So it doesn't. So you're saying we don't have to try to fuse
No,
it into one.
you don't
He's
have
having
to.
his experience, and I'm having my experience.
Exactly.
In tandem.
In fact, the more you let yourself have your unique experience and make space for your partner's unique experience, the more you're developing this we space where something very magical can happen.
That's great, Katie, because I notice when when I'm arguing, I notice that the issue seems for both of us to turn into an it,
Yes.
like an it, and so here's my experience of this, and here's his experience of this.
Yes, and it can
Flowing
all
into each
be
other.
yes, it can all be flowing, and it all is energy that you can use for your creativity. Did you
My
just
challenge,
notice something?
yeah, my
Yes.
challenge is getting stuck over there.
That's mine.
Yeah,
I get stuck
with
on
this. And part of it is, and I can see it's both sides. It's I either hook in to what I'm imagining is wrong, or in this case,
yes.
I'm like, wow, this is luscious, and this is what it feels like.
Yes, I'm just going to get lost over here,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing.
Right, but I'm gone.
Exactly. So for you to really be able to fully enjoy yourself as a creator and a co-creator in your relationship was the same issue for me. That I knew what Gay wanted before he knew what he wanted. But for me to really learn to bring attention back to me, that was really, really key. So I appreciate you mentioning that. Yes.
Yeah, I can feel it drop off. It's almost like it goes out, and then crashes.
Right, because
there's nothing.
Because you're not renewing it by coming back to you.
I feel like, whew,
right.
That's a big one.
It's a really, really big one. Thank you so much for articulating that. So you're having a feeling.
Yeah. I can.
Go ahead
I feel.
And let that happen. Yeah.
I feel sad how much of a pattern this has been in my life. But then I think that I'm wondering if I'm actually been blaming her for that.
It's very possible because from the space of fear.
Yeah. Because I don't have anything left.
Yeah. I've given it all to you.
Yeah.
What about me?
Now, yeah. And then if she asks for something, it's like, haven't you been paying attention?
Right.
Giving you
everything. Right. Yeah. Huge. Thank you.
Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, so what would your body like to do right this moment? How can you give some loving attention to yourself?
That's it.
Exactly.
Just feeling it come back into here.
Yeah. So this might be a great time to integrate a love scoop.
I can really feel that.
Yeah.
It's like an I've just started energetically scooping.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I could feel this. And I went up instead of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting sweaty.
Excellent.
Energy.
Woo.
Energy.
Flow.
Well, William Blake said, energy is eternal delight. And for us to actually to be able to experience that in our relationships is, I think, what this practice will give you. And it's already, just with a few minutes, opened up something really major for you.
Say that again. Energy
is eternal delight.
It is. It's so delightful when I have it, and I'm doing that.
Yes.
And I think it's like a addiction. So I go over to this
You think
this
she's got
love.
it, and
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, and I'm giving it, and it feels so good to give, and then I give,
Yes, we call that being a martyr.
and then I got nothing.
Right. I got
And then
nothing.
you get
But there's no more. There's no more delight.
Right, well, because
That's why I
you do.
asked.
So I thank you for mentioning that this activity is a way of filling your reservoir.
Oh my gosh.
So that you can be renewing your energy
Ooh.
continuously through your relationship rather than getting caught in the adrenaline cycle of, I'm giving to you and you're not giving to me, so then I blame you and then you try to control me and off we go into just recycling that gotcha.
Yeah.
And being right in that moment of
Wow.
Yeah,
so
and
this
my
is a
version
new
of
fuel
that.
source.
Yeah, my version of that is I'm so vigilant if I'm afraid that of Art's, if he's going to get angry or go into arguing or blaming or whatever, and so I get vigilant of his energy.
Yes.
And I leave myself over here. I'm not giving my own attention to me. And I become like a vacuum. And that vacuum, like you said, for Art is a feint.
Yes.
It's this fear that deflates me entirely.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I can feel myself inflating me, filling me with my own attention.
Lovely.
And what I complain about from there is he doesn't make contact with me. Well, there's like no one over here to make contact with when I'm deflated is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
So this is really also, thank you so much for that example. This is about you affirming yourself as two whole people who are then coming together to create this third thing that comes from you both creating and co-creating rather than leaning on each other or going back and forth, but one of you being the victim and one of you being the villain.
I've been doing your work for a long time,
Yeah.
and this feels brand new.
Yay!
I feel almost embarrassed, but
Well,
wow,
we
this
want
feels...
it to be, we want love to be brand new, that you can experience renewing your relationship over and over again.
Oh,
That's what I find. Like in the
Goosebumps.
issues that we're bringing up, I keep finding subtler and subtler ways to enjoy myself more in the interaction.
Yeah.
And I don't
beautiful.
go anywhere near as far into as I used to, which would
Yes.
end up in relationship demise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Let's try one other variation of this so that people can try it on at home. Now, we've been doing this for just a little bit of a time where they were giving attention to themselves and giving attention to each other. When you do this at home, my suggestion is that you do it as long as it's feeling pleasant and amusing to you, and you can extend the period of time that you do it. I don't think you ever need to do it for more than 10 minutes. So that's enough to really fill your reservoir. But at first, 'cause remember, they've been practicing for a while. So if you don't have that kind of instant connection, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means you practice. So these are conscious loving ever after practices. So I just want you to remember that. So here's something for people who maybe can't get that I don't know how to give attention to you and then give attention to me. So I'd like you to actually be giving attention to you and then giving attention to the other. So you're going to be giving attention to you and giving attention to the other. So you're going to be using your hands.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so here, let's start with, I'm going to shower attention over me. I'm going to shower attention over me. And now I'm going to shower attention over you. Yeah. And then I'm going to shower attention over me.
I think I want to do it over here.
Yes, I know. We know that tendency.
Wow.
And now each of you are going to have different rhythms. So you both might be showering over one of you at the same time. That's totally fine, as long as you keep coming back to you. When I've taught this, sometimes I've said it's like when you were a kid and you would share M&Ms, and you'd start out with one for you and one for me and one for you, one for me, and then it was one for you and two for me. I'd like you to err toward one for you and two for me, because we're so much better at giving love and appreciation than we are at receiving it.
Wow.
Lovely. I like all of the different ways that you're playing with that.
Yeah, I find if I want to keep my eyes open and keep my attention on me, it helps me to really move my body and
Yes.
feel my body more.
And that's going to help everything.
Yeah.
If you move your body and feel your body, you'll be more present, you'll be able to more enjoy.
Yeah.
Now let's take it into, now this is a little advanced, that I'm going to give attention to me and I'm going to give attention to you.
At once?
Then, yes. And then I'm going to give attention to me and give attention to you. You can even use sound with that, or like, okay, some for you and some for me. And some for you and some for me. Yeah.
Are you shifting hands? Or
Yeah, shift hands,
This way?
because
Yeah,
then
back
that
and
gives you
forth.
a chance to
Make me work.
actually, oh yeah, me. And you can touch. And your rhythm is going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same. So actually try having different rhythms. Like, you know, if you can do yours faster or slower, yeah. If it's actually,
That doesn't work.
yeah, because you want to be actually able to feel it. What's the pace that allows me to feel me? Yeah. Now add a little to it. Is a really important way of adding in that sense of curiosity and of opening, shifting you from your critical brain to your wonder brain. Beautiful. And while you're doing that, I'd like you to let yourself think of something that you appreciate about you and give yourself appreciative attention.
about myself.
Yes.
By myself.
And then think of something you appreciate about the other and let your extension of your hand come with that sense of appreciation. You won't be saying anything, but you will be actively appreciating. Yeah, just go ahead and let it flow, let it flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Good. Go ahead and let yourself pause and just enjoy your feeling. Be with the feeling. Yeah. 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 Wonderful. Wonderful.
Stuff.
So everybody experiences energy differently, and so I wanted to give you different variations. So some of you may be more experienced with meditation and being still, so you might be able to actually shift your attention without anything visible going on. But I really encourage you, when you're learning this, to use your body, use your arms, use the hum, that pleasant hum, because it will allow you to keep opening up. Because when we get into relationship, energy rises, and we have millennia of habits of controlling and criticizing each other. So give yourself a chance to develop this whole new way of being together, because it will create this co-creative space between you.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
So yummy.
lovely. So yummy. Yay.